Mustardville-ass colors. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Pregame Show, live from the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. The Avs taking on the Nashville Predators. Back on the road, we've got Bailey and Rudo coming to you live to break it all down for you. On the surface of it, the Avs have won 7 straight, and the Nashville Predators aren't very good, so you'd like them to make it 8 straight, yeah?
Yeah, that's the hope, right? I mean, after this last 10-game segment, it's hard for that to not be the expectation, I think. 19 out of 20 points is it's an unfathomable number.
Where do you think the Avs settle on that? Because it is a new set of 10 games. It's game 21 of the season. Do the Avs find a way to balance rolling a 7-game win streak and kind of getting a little bit of a reset here as they head back out on the road?
I don't know.
Okay. I get going with the vibes. It's hard to argue with that, given what the Avs have done.
No, I don't know. I think it is a new set of 10. So you look at this, and I mean, you have film, you have things to work on from last game. I loved what Cale Makar said following one of the other games, or one of the last 2 games, saying, like, we're not at our best. Like, there's still a lot left in the tank.
Don't disagree.
For this team, which I think it's a crazy thing to think about. Again, 19 points out of 20 in 10 games. Like that's a crazy thing to think about. But vibes are high. They're looking for 8. They're hoping to get a full 4 points out of this back-to-back. But I mean, never settling. Yep. Is I think the big thing for this Avs team.
And that's part of the beauty of sports. You don't have to play your best. You just have to play better than the other team. Mm-hmm. And the Avs are doing that real well right now.
I've got to. I mean, if they're going to play better than anybody, I hope they can do that against one
Nashville.
Of the. Yeah, you know, if that, and that's where I'm kind of stuck too. Is like the Avalanche are doing so well, and unfortunately, if they're going to I don't want them to get stuck in a situation where this is a very bad Nashville team, not very good, and it's a cycle or a habit that the Avalanche have been very good about not falling into when it comes to playing lesser.
But you worry
teams,
about it when they've won 7 straight.
It's setting off a couple alarms
for sure.
In my head.
I would agree. I think they'll manage it, but that thought creeps in. Yeah. Part of the conversation here, Gavin Brindley did not come on this road trip, as talked about by Bednar. Apparently healthy enough to work out with the kids, though.
Yeah.
So
which
maybe,
is good.
Yeah, he can't be that hurt.
Sign.
That he must not be dead. But that leaves the Avs with a bottom 9 that is going to get a little bit interesting. You're going to see someone get promoted, whether that's Landeskog or Olofsson, and then you're going to see the third line have to transform a little bit too, with almost certainly Parker Kelly being the guy that gets the extra minutes there. But one, how do the Avs shake out these second line duties, I suppose I should say, and do we expect their forward depth to be able to produce even with missing a few guys?
I think what this team has proven is that they're really, really good at handling the next man up mentality. Something Josh Manson talked about a lot. And I think it's important when the team is performing the way that it is. Having a fully healthy team is not, the
reality.
Reality, right? Like, you're not going to go through an entire 82-game season with a fully, ideally healthy lineup.
Yeah.
Right? And especially for this Avs team and the way that they play, the pace at which they play.
Yeah.
It's not it's not uncommon for guys like that to fall out of the lineup. So that's the expectation, right? Is a lot of these guys who are in the system and, mainstays on this Avalanche team can be versatile. That's also the expectation for Bednar, like through a game too. The lineups, we've maybe seen them stay the same just with the way the team has been playing, the chemistry that they've found.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Bednar kind of blending things up very much.
A little bit lately,
unless,
but injuries is the reason for
like
that.
that's the big thing. Though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Too is you're not seeing much of that. But generally, with the way this team has played in years past, they're used to that shuffling. They're used to that kind of blending mid game.
Yep.
And that's what you have to be used to, playing in a system run by Jared Bednar. And it's not something the Avalanche, I think, can't handle.
Yeah, I mean, they've clearly shown to be fine with it so far. You do wonder if those start to stack up more. When does it start becoming an issue? But certainly we've seen Brock Nelson step up over the last couple of games. We've seen other players, whether it be your stars carrying or your defense contributing more offensively. They have the other pieces that you don't worry too much about that. How much do you give to Gabe Landeskog here, though? That's my question. We've seen his minutes fluctuate from all the way up to 18 down to like 10 at different times this season. Is he really an option for the Avs on that second line? And we'll talk about the power play a little bit later. Or is this more Olofsson's job to step up and produce?
You could make a case for both. I think I lean more toward Olofsson just because of how he's played.
Okay.
Recently, you get some
His
of that.
point totals are hard to argue with.
right, and that's kind of where I go with it, as well as you're getting some of that production out of a Brock Nelson. If that chemistry can start to click, and Victor Olofsson can kind of start finding the net a little bit more, and producing for that second line in a way that you expect them to, like that's where I would go. Landeskog's kind of found a home on that third line.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really good together.
Yeah, so that's where I'm, like, I don't know how much I'm willing to mess with that. Again, I understand, injuries, meshing around needs to happen. But if you can get Victor Olofsson firing on that second line next to a Brock Nelson, that's a best case scenario for me.
For sure.
So I'd love Gabe Landeskog to produce at that level, but that's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
So.
While Landy maybe deserves better, I don't think it's been quite there yet.
No.
So fair enough. And look, when you look at Nashville's depth, it's bad. There are a lot of players that used to be good in Nashville's depth that aren't really so.
Maybe on other teams.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
The production from Nashville's depth is just not there. So even with some of the shakeup that you might see in the Avs third line, second line, even fourth line, there really should be opportunity for them to win their straight matchups, at least tonight against Nashville.
Your top two guys have 15 and 13 points, respectively. That is
Victor
horrible.
Olofsson would be the leading scorer on the Nashville
Yes.
Predators.
Nathan MacKinnon, for anybody keeping score, has 36. That is double what a Philip Forsberg is currently holding for the Nashville Predators. That is, I obviously, I'm happy with my job here. There's a reason I don't have a job in hockey ops, but that's
Me too.
bad.
It's not good. Doesn't take a genius to figure that not being great out. And that's a lot of Nashville's problem, is just inability to actually score goals. We have my stat pack here, which we can bring up, and it is a little bit interesting. When you look at possession metrics, when you look at what Nashville's actually generating, it's not good, but it's fine, like middle of the pack stuff. And then they're just the worst team in the NHL at actually scoring and actually preventing goals. They can't do the part of hockey that is the most important. The one thing that wins you games, you have to score a goal. They suck at it. When you get a lead, the one thing that wins you games is not giving up any goals. They suck at it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to talk about there. And then I might as well just write a giant Avs best at 5-on-5 for all of the Avs statistics at this point, because their numbers at 5-on-5 continue to just be outrageous in every single category. They're just ridiculously good.
Yeah. It's, which you expect them to be. Again, being the top team in the league, that's the expectation for a team like this. It's been the message they've been kind of putting out for themselves, especially over the last 2 weeks, is like, this is how they expect to play.
Yep.
They're producing at a high level. Underlying numbers are performing well. Like that's how this team should be playing, and they're doing exactly that. So
should be no different tonight. You expect them to dominate the play. You expect them to produce well, and you expect them to not give up a ton, which is that's it. That's all the parts of winning.
I guess I do worry a little bit though too, because in looking at the last couple of games for the Predators, by last couple of games, maybe looking a little further back, Dallas Stars,
Yep.
they lose 5-4.
Yep.
The Minnesota Wild, they lose 3-2. Dallas Stars late October, they lose 3-2.
Yep.
So these games against these divisional matchups, they've kept fairly close, which is what's maybe a little more concerning.
Yeah.
For me too.
I think it's a good point. The Avs are technically above 500 in their divisional matchups. They're 1-0-2. They've only played 3, so it's not like it's a big sample size. But
Right.
is there something to that? Are the divisional matchups just a little bit tougher? Of course, in general, but with a team like Nashville, does that matter? Is there something extra, or is Nashville just they're bad?
I don't think it matters as much to Nashville as it does for a team like the Avs. Because at this point in the season, like, they need a come to Jesus moment for them to kind of turn their season around to spark playoff hopes. I think, unfortunately, they're kind of coming to the conclusion, like, the best they can do is not be last.
Right.
Right? But the Avs are in a completely different situation. Like a team that maybe ideally is vying for a President's Trophy, vying for a Stanley Cup at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And that's something, I mean, again, obviously they have not played many of their division.
They have not.
Much of their division. Like it's just how the season is shaken out so far. But it definitely matters for the Avs. This is a game that means more. In the grand scheme of things, like points, the way that they shake out mean more against divisional matchups. It could mean, it could be the difference of a playoff position.
Yep.
Later down the
4-point
road.
swings definitely are a thing. Even if Nashville, those points, the Avs probably don't care if they give Nashville a point tonight. But
if they can take this in overtime, okay, I'm great. You give them one, it sucks. But
would rather they win in reg, but
Yeah.
a win's a win at the end of the
right.
day. I did want to talk about the goalie matchup a little bit.
Yep.
UC Saros in for Nashville has not been very good this year. And how much of that is the defense in front of him without Roman Josi, who's been out for about a month now?
He will be returning
Yes.
tonight.
So maybe they can improve and help him out a little bit more. But still not particularly encouraging there. And then on the other side, you have Mackenzie Blackwood back in for the Colorado Avalanche. And you're still kind of waiting for that real high-quality game from Mackenzie.
I will say, I agree with Bednar in his assessment of Mackenzie's last game and saying it was just okay. I think he did definitely take a step from game 1 to game 2. I'm expecting him to have a really good bounce back game. He's been working a lot with UC Parkala.
Yep.
He's been, talking with Wedgwood a lot and kind of like spending a lot of time working on those kind of minute things at practice that a lot of people maybe don't pay a whole lot of attention to from games, but things that you expect a goaltender to be able to do and perform well with. So he's been spending a lot of time with that, and I think of the 2 matchups this back-to-back, like this is the one I absolutely think, Bednar was totally right to give Blackwood this game.
I agree with that. And it is, we're kind of at a point where Mackenzie's got to earn what he's going to earn. Bednar said it. Not my problem. I'm going to play the goalie I think is going to win games for me.
Yeah,
So
he's going to play the rested goaltender, which is ultimately what he's doing right now.
it is.
But I also loved something else Bednar said, and you need to earn those minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And Wedgwood, he said himself, has been playing out of his mind. And if
Hard to
we
argue
know
with it.
anything about Jared Bednar, it is that he rides the hot goaltender.
Yep. He will ride him all the way if he has to.
Yeah.
So
So
hopefully Blackwood can earn a little bit more tonight, I think is the Avs storyline on that side. Maybe the Avs light up Saros so bad we get to see Annunen, old friend again.
Okay.
That's what I want.
All right.
Don't know if that's realistic, but that's what I want out of
Fun
the
little
deal.
storyline.
lot of ex-Avs in Nashville right now. Annunen, O'Reilly. I don't know if Jost is in the lineup or not tonight, but he is in the Nashville press box at very least.
I see him on fourth line
He is? Okay,
right now,
cool.
so maybe. I don't know
Or
if
maybe
that
not
changes.
cool. He probably will score on the Avs, so darn.
Shoot. I mean, he's only got one. If he's scoring against the Avs, I maybe have more questions for the Avs than I do Joe.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
So
but
I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. Kiefer Sherwood scores on the Avs every time he scores hat tricks on. Like, he's like Vancouver's top goal scorer this year, so it's fair enough. But
I don't know.
I wanted to circle back around to the bottom six again a little bit. And I'm not saying this is bad, but Jack Drury has 1 point in his last 5 games. Zakar Bartikov has no points in his last 5 games. You're looking down your center depth, and while Jack Drury's having a fine season, I have no problems with him at 3C. Do you want a little bit more production there?
You'd like to see it.
Yeah.
But I think I go back to roles
Sure.
for each player on this team. And as much as you'd maybe like to see a little bit more production from a guy like Jack Drury, I'm not exactly expecting it night in, night out like I am from a Brock Nelson.
Definitely.
So that's Jack Drury's role is not to score goals. Like, if you get a couple out of him, great. Now watch as I say this, he's going to go and put up a ton tonight, but
I mean, I hope so. Yes, Jack Drury is going to play a defensive center role on the team, but every center in the NHL, every forward in the NHL has to produce some, right?
No, absolutely. No, and 1 in 5 isn't great. Like, I'd maybe like to see a couple more assists out of him, which is something he's been known for in his career too. Like, he's really good playmaker. I'd like to see him maybe get involved a little bit more that way. But if playing a defensively sound role is what he's doing well at so far, I mean, obviously something is working for him.
And again, it's who you play with. Having played with Victor Olofsson, who's scoring a ton, Jack Drury having a little bit of less scoring isn't that big of a deal. But if Olofsson moves up and fills that 2 second-line wing role, rather, maybe the guy you looking to step up and produce for that third line is Jack Drury. Maybe it's Gabe Landeskog. Maybe you think Parker Kellykin, who doesn't really matter who it is. But I am looking down that center depth a little bit and saying, maybe this is where the Avs need a little bit more with some of these injuries that are stacking up. I think the other place they need more is the easiest thing to say in the world, which is the Avs special teams. Obviously, we've been talking about the power play all year in that regard, but you also saw your penalty kill get scored on twice against New York. And
Not ideal.
not good. Avs penalty kill is fine. I'm not sitting here telling you, oh, the sky is falling, the penalty kill is bad now, but you do want to see them have a bounce back game.
No, yeah, and that's what I expect. And they know that this has been like a top point of their game so far, is performing on the penalty kill. If they can't expect the power play to get going every single night or at least every other night, like, that's what they can fall back on and saying, like, we have a top penalty kill in the league, which is still true.
Yes.
Even after that game, like, it again, no panic alarms, no anything. Like, they still have a really, really tough penalty kill to play against. That's not going to change tonight.
I would not expect it to. Nashville, bad on the power play. They have a fine penalty kill, so maybe the Avs power play will have to work through it a little bit. But you would like to see, I mean, perfect world, your penalty kill never plays. You take no penalties. But in reality, your penalty kill is going to have to kill a couple.
Avalanche.
Yeah, it's like, let's be real about it. So you do know that. And then we've talked about all the guys who need to elevate, but what about the new guys, the guys that are filling in, the Tristan Nielsen's, the Taylor McCarrs, the Jason Polans of the world, who is expected to draw in tonight. Can the Avs realistically get anything out of these guys, or are these just warm bodies for the most part?
I lean toward the latter on that, unfortunately, unless a guy like Jason Polan comes in and completely dominates in his first shift. I don't expect him to play more than 5 minutes. Like, that's unfortunately just how Bednar works with things like this. Now, you hope against a team like Nashville, you don't have to shorten the bench as much as you maybe have.
You really shouldn't have to
You
against
shouldn't
Nashville.
have to. But again, we saw that against New York,
Yep.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
and that's just how the cookie crumbled, unfortunately. But like against a team like Nashville, you hope to use the entirety of your bench, and also it is the first game of a back-to-back.
It is.
So shortening
those
the bench,
minutes out a little
right.
bit,
If
yep.
you can get a little bit more, especially after out of those bottom 6 guys today, that's you can do all you want to preserve and utilize your top guys more tomorrow. Like I'm more fine with that.
Well, I think worth noting on the defensive side too. This is the first real back-to-back with Sam Girard back in the
Yeah.
lineup. Maybe you don't have to destroy Cale Makar's legs with 27 minutes tonight. You can get a balance of 4 dudes playing 20-ish minutes.
I wish I could say that was my
I know
expectation for
better.
tonight.
I know better, but I can hope. All right.
No, and Bednar's got a lot of trust in a guy like Sam Girard too. And everyone else may not night in, night out, but
I do.
I love Sam Girard, and having him back, you can see the impact that it's having, not just on the depth conversation for this blue line, but the way that things are utilized. Like the Sams are performing really, really well right now.
are.
I loved Sam Malinsky, and especially in the first period against New York. And I think a lot of that has to do with having a consistent guy next to him.
Yep.
Too. Like Jared Bednar has so much trust in these guys, and I hope that, especially with all the circumstantial things going into this game, first game of a back-to-back, having that depth at your disposal, wanting to save a Cale Makar maybe for a more difficult matchup in a Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow, like that's the hope, is you get to preserve that a little bit.
Yep, you would hope so. Some stability for your back end does hopefully make that easier for Bednar to make work. A Wolf in the Toyota chat saying PP can only be bad for so long before it's a foregone conclusion that it's unfixable. Well, the Avs are implementing some changes on that tonight. Some maybe more forced by the injuries, but some not. The top power play unit going with some bigger bodies, both Landeskog and MacKinnon expected to play on Unit 1. With Gavin Brindley out, not on Unit 2, we're going to see a little bit of changes there. Presumably Victor Olofsson will drop down to that one. It sounds like they have Marty Necas set up on his opposite side where Victor Olofsson was playing. So how much is this really going to change things? I don't know, but we should at least see a different look to the power play in this one.
You maybe get a little more movement and danger on each side. I'm a
all you can
little
ask for,
worried
yeah.
at how... I'm interested to see how they deploy a MacKinnon and a Landeskog, given their tendencies on the power play and just, playing styles in general.
Yeah, I assume it's the Gabe Landeskog tip in front spot, since he historically has been the best player there for the Avs.
Right.
MacKinnon does understand how to play the bumper. If he was that much better of a finisher, I think it would be better, but we'll see. It'll be a bit of a different look. And look, their last power play goal came from Brock Nelson, so maybe they'll actually play the second unit a little bit.
I was going to say, though, too, you've got a Victor Olofsson who's got a decent snipe dropping down to that second unit as well. So, like, you're getting a little bit more dangerous in that area.
Maybe a lot of wish casting from me on this pregame show of things I want to happen that are not going to, but,
Take notes.
you gotta dream a little bit on that front.
Yep.
We already have the people in the Toyota chat giving out their crystal ball predictions. Let's bust out our crystal ball. Bailey, give me a score. Give me a name. What do you got?
Give me 3-2. This one's going to, I think, be another close one created by the Preds. But you know who needs a goal? Devon Taves.
He does need a goal.
Needs a goal. And that is one of my goal scorers for tonight. Devon Taves.
Love it.
Finally gets it.
Absolutely here for the taser laser. I also wonder, the Avs have not played a lot of low-scoring games. They've only been held to 2 goals or less twice this season. It might be 3 times, because I think they won the one against Utah, and then I think there were 2 more. The Boston loss.
Yep.
Then I think there was one other, and not important. My point is the Avs are scoring a lot of goals. I do wonder
if this is the night.
You're not going to score 4 every night. It's going to dry up at some point, right? And maybe the Avs can still find a way to win. Nashville, again, not a team that's finishing well, so maybe they can get away with like a 2-1 win tonight. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
You'll see in my pregame picks, I picked Natchez for a goal, but I'm tempted to pick someone else and go with a. I think I will take Ross Colton.
Raw predictions here, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Coming up with it
Roscoe?
on the spot.
Ross Golton.
I do think that second line is playing a really important role for the Avalanche right now, and you want to see that production keep going.
Colton's on a tear now, too.
Colton and Nelson have both produced very well. Some of that has been picking up some empty net points, so let's see Colton beat a goalie again tonight and keep that goal streak going for that line.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into those pregame picks that I just mentioned. They are presented by Bet365, where, of course, things are never ordinary. I mentioned the Natchez goal. He's plus 135. I also took the Avs to cover, so maybe I should have picked 2-0, I guess. Not 2-1. Do think Blackwood will face a decent amount of shots tonight, so I took the over on saves for him, and like we said, you want to see him get warm, get the feel for it, start looking good in net. So hopefully this game can be that for him, and hopefully the Avs can put a full, complete performance together and beat a team that they really should when it comes to Nashville. 7 in a row is a lot.
Yeah.
But it does feel like the Avs could get to more. And I know, like, I've been shaving, chat, like I promised.
He's getting a little tired of it, guys.
Yeah, I want the Avs to win, but I also want to grow my beard back out. But I figured I'd up the stakes a little bit more. If you don't know, the Avs' longest win streak ever is 12 games. So they would need 5 more to equal it, 6 more to get there. If the Avs get to 13 wins, I said I'd bleach my hair.
Yeah, guys, let's... I am a very superstitious person, right? And I know some of Chad is as well. And so putting that out into the open feels a little wrong to me. But
it doesn't matter.
I'm so here for it. Like, I want to see it so badly.
So there you go. If you need one more reason for the Avs to keep their winning streak going, you can see Rudo look real weird if they go far enough.
I'll spread that around the room. It'll give them a little
Good,
mojo.
yeah, I know. I'm sure they're definitely worried about my hair color
Yeah,
in the
totally,
Avalanche locker.
totally, yeah. Looking for anything.
You need a reason. I'll come up with one, all right? It's fine.
There we go.
Final thing I kind of wanted to wrap the pregame up with is the same thing we sort of started with. The Avs have, I'm not going to say the 3 best players in the world, but arguably 3 of the top 5. Certainly 3 of the top 10 players in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason the Nashville Predators should be able to stop them.
No.
At all, even with the return of Roman Josi.
Even on a bad night.
Right.
These are some of the best players for the Avs, night in, night out. With the way Cale Makar performs, with our expectations, unfortunately, like, we are expecting maybe a 26 to 28 minute night from a guy like Cale Makar, and that's 26 minutes the Nashville Predators are going to be struggling.
They're going to live in fear
tonight. And I mean, we all know what happens when Natchez or MacKinnon holds on to the puck, creates that zone transition, and then they're off.
Yeah.
So it creates a lot of difficult hockey for the guys on the other side of the ice. It's so fun to watch, where you expect something from them, night in, night out, and tonight is no different.
You know, we always joke about at the start of the season player point paces and how, like, someone will have a 3-point night at the start of the year and you're like, oh, hi, ha, 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 he's on like a 200-point pace or whatever. But,
totally realistic.
I mean, that's a little bit out there. But
aside.
Nathan MacKinnon is legitimately on a 150-point pace right now, 20 games into the season. Like,
oh my God.
And I get it's Nathan MacKinnon, and you're just like, yeah, well, he's that good. He could do that. But kind of ridiculous.
For reference, 116 points last season is where he ended. That's an insane number.
On pace to do 35 more than that, basically.
What?
34 more than that.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Me too.
Like, give it to me, please. Like, that's...
Just throw down the best season in Avs history, Nate.
Please.
Just do it.
No, and it's so fun, too, because, this man is young.
Yep.
Like, he's still, in hockey years, really, really young player.
Not that young, but...
Well, not really
He's
young,
in his
but
prime.
yeah, right. And so looking at where he's at and franchise points too, like, I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, second in franchise points, only behind Joe Sakic, who has 600 more than
ways
him.
to go on that.
But there's a very good chance we see him break that too. And
there is. He could get there.
It happens with point totals, like what we're expecting.
When you have
from him
150
this season.
points a game, it takes a good chunk of those points out when you're trying to chase down Joe Sakic.
Right.
Did I say a game? A season, I meant, of course.
Right.
150 points a game. He'll catch Joe Sakic this week. Could bet on Mac. Also, Ryan O'Reilly's getting a point tonight. Just accept it.
Yeah.
Put that bet in. Whenever you do bet with Bet365, make sure you're 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. And that's going to wrap up our pregame show. We got a watch along coming your way in a couple of minutes, and then join us postgame where Bailey and I will break it all down no matter what. We hope to see you there. We will talk to you in a few.
We all silly like the mayor.